Welcome to the Litigation Psychology Podcast, brought to you by Courtroom Sciences. I'm Dr. Steve Wood. Today, no solo podcast, no guests. It's more or less just an update on what we're going to be going to do in the future. Bill and I have loved doing the podcast. We've really enjoyed it. It's been fun for us. And we've also enjoyed hearing from listeners and hearing from attorneys who have said that they've listened to the podcast and used some of the things that we've talked about in their practice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of a summer break and come back after the 4th of July weekend. Now, we might pop in from time to time with some special topics, but the plan is to wait and give ourselves a little bit of time until we start rolling out new episodes. And today I want to talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about, after we come back from our break. One of the first things Sean Murphy and I are going to do is we're going to come on and we're going to talk about the fallout and the aftermath of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. We're going to look at that from a critical communication standpoint and talk about how each side positioned the narrative and the discussions that they had both before and during the actual trial. One of the other topics we're going to talk about is preparing the former employee for a deposition. Obviously, a former employee is going to be a little bit different, have a little bit different mindset than someone who's currently an employee. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the fallacy of the reptile brain. I've had conversations with some medical professionals and also lay individuals that have talked about the reptile brain. And I know there's a discrepancy on whether or not there is or is not a reptile brain. Bill and I are going to dive into that a little bit more and discuss it from both sides. Another thing we're going to talk about is one of the top excuses that we hear about why people don't want to do jury research. We talk to a lot of current customers and potential customers and get a lot of feedback about what the roadblocks are as it relates to jury research, and we're going to address that. One other thing we'll talk about is social influence in the courtroom. I've written on this extensively and talked about how the sociological factors and psychological factors that are going on during jury selection and also in the deliberation room amongst jurors. And then finally, we'll talk about how to prepare emotional witnesses. Dr. Elisa Parker and I wrote an article a while back looking at the factors that you need to consider when preparing an emotional witness for deposition. We'll dive into that. That's just a few of them. Like I said, we have several other ones that we're looking to record podcasts on, and we look forward to bringing you more content, new content. Always looking for guests. So if anybody wants to come on and discuss any of the topics I mentioned or discuss any other topics that they believe might be important to our listeners, feel free to reach out to me at swood@courtroomsciences.com. And like I said, Bill and I are going to take some rest, get ready to come back and give you good content that you can use in your day-to-day life. Take care.